So thank you for coming. So this is we have this weekend. We have Sankirtan Festival.
Yay!
Yeah. And this is something which is going on very much in our movement, Sankirtan Festival, because it's a Sankirtan movement. So regular Sankirtan Festival is not like once a year actually, it should be quite often. Some they have it monthly, Sankirtan Festival. And it's a way to bring the community actually together around Sankirtan and experience that, connect with that, Ananda and Buddhivardhana. Sankirtan is like the life that gives us life. It's like we have life. So when we do Harinam Sankirtan, glorify the Lord, then we connect with the source of our life, with the Lord. So we get energy. So important to spread this wisdom, because I look around in society and when I talk a lot with people everywhere, and so many people they because they don't learn this art of connecting with Krishna, with the source of our existence, they lose energy in life, and they become unproductive, end up on now, all these things. So this is the most important welfare activity, to spread Harinam Sankirtan. So, so this festival starts like a little bit today with this little inspirational talk on a little bit on the history of book distribution. Why we emphasize so much books? What's the tradition? How our tradition is connected with books? We will speak a little bit about that. Om Gyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shlokaya Shakshurundilitam Yena Tasman Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapsam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Bhaktaramayam Dadati Svasarantika. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So just before I speak on this, I'm going to tell shortly what's going on tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have here japa, and also it will be not stream. I'm always said we don't do japa stream. We do it.
Don't do japa.
But we do it. I don't know how this will work. How we connect. I don't know the technical stuff.
You can get in early in the morning.
We will be here.
You have the code, so we will avoid the fire alarm.
Yeah, that will.
Yeah. That's good.
All codes are good.
Huh?
You have all codes.
Yeah, that's sorted out.
Oh, very
good.
good.
The codes.
Yeah.
But so that will start here in the morning, and also it will be I don't know what it is, Zoom. And then there will be Guru Puj here, and a lecture, Srimad Bhagavatam, regular Srimad Bhagavatam class. If it was a regular temple here, we would have also Mangala Arti and everything, in the morning, and to get so many together, come together, and then we will have some training, face to face, just to know a little bit, just basic what to say when you approach a person with books, because we are here to we were asked to talk to inspire us to book distribution. So we know that book distribution, it comes from the heart and in inspiration from the Super Soul what to say. But we will have some training here, some basic what to say tomorrow. And then we will go out and there is simply no expectation that you have to do anything. There's simply no expectation. Only expectation is that you put your foot on Egertorget, which we will be at 12 o'clock. Then after whatever more you do than that, that's a bit extra. But it's nice that so many as possible can come here for that training. Because Sankirtan is so nice and fun. And then after that we come back here and we share our experience and we also share prasad. So book distribution or books has been very much present in our Gaudiya tradition. We are in the line of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, which starts with Lord Brahma. And you know, Lord Krishna, he instructed Lord Brahma in all the Vedic knowledge through his heart. And Vyasadeva, he later wrote down all the Vedas. And later Lord Chaitanya came. So Lord Chaitanya, he is the Supreme Lord himself. Krishna Varnam, Krishna Krishna, Sangopangastra Barkat, Sangopangastra Parshadam. Sangopangastra Parshadam. Yajai Sankirtanai Janti Hi Sumedasa. So, this is said about Lord Chaitanya, that those who are intelligent, they worship Sumedasa, intelligent, they worship Lord Chaitanya, who has come, is Krishna, but he doesn't come in the color of Krishna. He comes not blackish, but he comes in his golden color. But it's Krishna himself. So he was here 500 years ago. And we know that Krishna is the source of all knowledge. Vedais chasarvair ahameva vedya vedanta krit vedavid evachaha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I have compiled the Vedas, I am the origin of the Vedas, and I am the goal of the Vedas. It's to know me, Krishna says. So Lord Chaitanya, he knows, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And just as Krishna, Supreme Lord, instructed Lord Brahma from the heart, Lord Chaitanya instructed many of his disciples, especially Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. So all the knowledge we have today, this understanding of the different rasas, we think it's like the standard knowledge. It is. I mean, it's the proper knowledge. But it was really handed to us by Lord Chaitanya, who instructed Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami. And then again, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami and the other Goswamis of Vrindavan, they were expert in studying all the scriptures and taking out the essence. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nibunal Sadharma Sanstapaka. Very expert in studying the scriptures, bringing out the essence. And Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they wrote many books. Some of them, like Nectar of Devotion, maybe you heard about it. Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Sri Upadesh Amrita, Nectar of Instruction. These are like a nectar of devotion is like you can't the essence of religion, you can say, can't be more clearly expressed there. It's just everything. The greatest philosophers, like also Jiva Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis, these Goswamis, they were the greatest philosophers, greatest thoughtful men. Everything else becomes very like the Western philosophers become very, very not so advanced, to say it like that. So they wrote all these books. All this knowledge was given to us, and then later Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was in our line, and he also wrote a lot of literature. And then his son Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he also wrote many commentaries, literatures on Srila Prabhupada. He also wrote so many books and commentaries. And we know that the Srimad Bhagavatam is spoken by Shukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit is cursed to death, and then Shukadeva Goswami comes there and speaks to Srimad Bhagavatam, and his name is Shukadeva. Shuka means a parrot. Actually, he is a parrot in the spiritual world. But his name is also Shuka. And what is remarkable about the parrot is that when it picks on a fruit hanging on a tree, or a mango or something, then that mango becomes very sweet. It's not only these parrots. Any bird actually. I had a garden once with trees also. Whenever a bird picks on an apple, that apple becomes very quickly very sweet. So Shukadeva, that name fits him because he presented the Srimad Bhagavatam. Why it became so sweet? Because he made it very relevant. He made it very relevant for people of Kali Yuga. And then now this knowledge is passed down, and then Srila Prabhupada comes. And he with his purport, he makes it even more sweet. He makes it even more relevant for us. So these books are really written in such a way that for Kali Yuga people who have no knowledge, and especially in the West, where we have grown up here, there is so little knowledge. These books really can take any you can say totally lost in the material whirlpool, take any person out and bring him to complete perfection actually. So these books are very, very special, very powerful. So that's Krishna's mercy that these books are here. So he sent Srila Prabhupada to write these books, and we know that if anyone reads these books of Srila Prabhupada, it will have tremendous effect on them. And Prabhupada said it himself. He said that I didn't, actually he said in his humility, he said, I didn't write this book, Krishna wrote them. I was an instrument, like that. So even he himself would sit down and read his books. So he said, it's my transcendental ecstasy. So these books are special, and they can create a revolution in the heart of a misdirected civilization. The civilization is very misdirected. The head is lost. This is no exaggeration to say. The head of the society is lost. And how a head of a society, how will it go on without a head? It's like there's no head, there's no eyes, there's no ears. It's a doomed. It's a doomed civilization. So Prabhupada came, Krishna, he says, when it is like that, when civilization is doomed, yadaya daya dharmasya glani bhavati bharata atyuttanama dharmasya tadatmana shijamya. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious principles and a predominant rise of irreligion, then I descend to tell what is actually the purpose of real goal of life, to establish religious principles. So that Krishna has come. He has come. Of course, he has come in the form of his name, but also these books. So we see just books in itself, even if they're not transcendental or not, have a great power. Shastra, astra, weapon. So the books are also weapons, and they're more powerful than weapons actually. With weapons you can, you can kill somebody, but with books you can actually change somebody. And that's Lord Chaitanya's mission. Like Prabhupada mentions about how communism spread in India, in Calcutta, for example, because they printed so much literature and spread everywhere, and then communism spread like that. So in the same way, by this literature, Krishna consciousness will spread. And there is countless examples of people who become like deeply affected by these books. Yes, there's so many examples, and for example, when I joined 1990. Then I joined the Hare Krishna movement, and it was after some months, it was the tradition. After some months, you were put on the street or in the traveling Sankirtan party, and travel around. And shortly after I was there, then another one also came, and he also was put shoulder on the Sankirtan party. So we traveled together. And much later, we met one of the, in our organization we have different ministry. We have like minister of deity worship, we have minister of sannyas, ministry. So we also have ministry of book distribution. So the head of this, the minister of book distribution, his name was Vijay. He traveled around. It's the minister's duty to travel around, encourage, and like that. So he came to Oslo, and that was very nice. We were on the street, and then this devotee who joined just after me, he came also, and then they talked together, and then he asked her, how did you become interested in Krishna consciousness? And I said, I was just I was frustrated with this world. I was looking for peace and for like beauty and harmony, and so I was traveling around the world. And then I came to an airport. Yeah. I think it was San Francisco Airport, or California, some airport around that area. And then when was that? He asked. He said, it was this and this, 1992 or something like that. And I said, 1992? This airport? I was the only one distributing books. The minister said, on this airport that year. So they found out that he bought the book from him. So that had changed his life, and then he came to the temple. And then he went and distributed books himself, just by reading these books. So these, because they are more than just information, it is actually association with a pure devotee. And a pure devotee is the most, you can say, has a lot of power, because purity is the force. So a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada was dedicated himself like this. It's a very powerful instrument. So this has happening everywhere. People have got books in most mysterious ways. Somebody has just found a book in a garbage place, and then they end up becoming devotees because of reading these books. And most people we ask, if you ask them, how do you become a devotee? It was through the books actually. So it's a very important aspect, and Srila Prabhupada, he got that order from his spiritual master. It's a little mysterious this also, because Srila Prabhupada, he met his spiritual master in 1922, and Srila Prabhupada grew up in a Vaishnava family. His father was a pure devotee, so when Prabhupada woke up, he always saw his father doing arati to the deities, like that. And then, his family, they were very pious. Every day, he said, Prabhupada said, every day there was at least 4 guests in their home, different sadhus. So he had seen so many sadhus, and he wasn't. Some of them didn't impress him so much. So when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had a program in Calcutta, one of Srila Prabhupada's friends said, "This sannyasi, you should come and see." And Prabhupada was like, "I see the sadhus, I don't want to come." But the friend, he pulled him, dragged him, and then they came. So Prabhupada finally agreed, yes, okay, I should go and look at him and hear him. So they went there, and immediately when they came in, it's like in India they know it's a sadhu, you bow down, show respect. So they bow down, and even before they came up from their obeisances, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, "You are young, you're both young, intelligent men. Why don't you spread this knowledge in the Western countries?" So like immediately he got instruction. So after that meeting, Srila Prabhupada became enlightened, and he accepted him as my guru. He said, oh, wow, I met a really wonderful person. And he also asked him some questions. You want to spread the message. And Prabhupada knew about Lord Chaitanya because it was in his family. So you want to spread the message of Lord Chaitanya, should we not first get independence of the Englishmen, and then we should preach Krishna consciousness? And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that though there is politics will always change, this doesn't have to wait for the right political environment. So it should be done immediately. So Prabhupada at that time, he was a married man, he had children. So, but he was always, after that moment, he became a member of that group, this Gaudiya Math, and he always invited the Gaudiya Math to his home. He facilitated programs. He did different service, and later on he became initiated by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and he got that clear instruction from him. He asked just before his guru left. He asked him, you have so many disciples and they are so doing so much service for you. What shall I do? What do you want me to do? And his spiritual master said, I want you to print books in the English language, preach in the English countries. And he told him, if you ever get money, print books. So Prabhupada got that instruction from his guru. If you get money, print books. And Prabhupada took his to his heart, and he prepared himself. He said he felt like when the spiritual master gives an instruction, you have to take it to your heart, you have to follow it, and it's like a duty. You have to fulfill that duty. So he prepared himself, and he started to write commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam, and he managed to print some of the Srimad Bhagavatam. He wanted to travel to America, but before he wanted to have some solid work with him. He wanted to print some books. So we wrote commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam. So we printed the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam with his commentaries. He printed, I don't know how many copies, maybe 100 or something. And when he finally managed to get out of India and get on a boat to America, he was 70 years old. And then he had this box with all these books. And I just happened yesterday to see 3 of these copies, to have it in my hand.
Really?
Yes, with the paper. I know, with the paper inside, which Prabhupada himself went to the printer in Delhi, and picked out the paper and brought it from the paper mill to the printer. You can ask me after. I will tell how it is. And it was very special, and it says in there, you can see the League of Devotees, because he started that in India. So that's to fulfill the mission of his spiritual master. His master said, you print books and write books in the English language. So this is what Prabhupada started, and so when he came to America, Krishna consciousness became very popular. Took some time, first in San Francisco and then first in New York, San Francisco. But book distribution wasn't really coming on. That happened a little bit later. And but Prabhupada was always, that was like his daily, you can say, sadhana. In the night, when everyone was sleeping, he didn't sleep much at night, just some few hours. Because when he went to sleep, he just felt, I'm going to waste my time now. That's how he felt. Typical for persons who are very absorbed in Krishna consciousness, they don't like to waste time, sleep so much. Same with Rupa Goswami, Sanat Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. They didn't sleep much. So in the night, when everyone was asleep, then Prabhupada was dictating his purpose to Srimad Bhagavatam. And if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you read his commentaries, you should read his books. If you read Prabhupada's books regularly, you will be inspired to give them somehow or other to others, to share this with others. Because these books are really the cure for this age of Kali Yuga. It's said about Srimad Bhagavatam that for those who have lost the sight in the darkness of this Kali Yuga, these books will be the light. Just like when Krishna left, Krishna left the planet. So just as he left and he leave, religion leaves, dharma leaves, all knowledge also leaves actually with Krishna. But just at that time, this Srimad Bhagavatam has risen as the sun on the horizon to dissipate the darkness of Kali Yuga and give light for all those who have lost their vision. So that's the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the Srimad Bhagavatam is like the cream of all the Vedic literature. Because Vyasadeva, he wrote a lot of literature, he wrote all the Vedas, and there you have knowledge about how to do sacrifices to please the gods and go to heaven and the like, and full of knowledge there. But Vyasadeva, he was morose. He did that wonderful work. That's maybe like many who they wrote this field east, they take this doctorate and after done it, become a little morose. But in this case, he was really wondering, why am I morose? And his spiritual master was Narada Muni. He was there to him and explained to him why he was morose. Because you have actually, by not describing pure devotional service or pure love for God, devotional service in its pure form, you have encouraged people to, in the name of religion, to be actually become somewhat materialistic. So then he wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam after that. And so it's said to be the ripened fruit of the tree of Vedic knowledge. And all Prabhupada, he wrote commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam, and all his books is based on all the knowledge we find from Srimad Bhagavatam, from Rupa and Sanat Goswami, and all the previous acharyas. So it's like Srimad Bhagavatam is the culmination of the Vedic literature, and with Prabhupada's commentaries, it's like the culmination of all the previous acharyas and the instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes out with the books we have now, with Srila Prabhupada's commentaries. So when I go out and distribute, I can't distribute any other books from Prabhupada. Prabhupada is like the combination of all of this, and therefore I'm always sure if I buy some books to distribute, or if I have some books, it is Prabhupada's books. So Prabhupada is especially empowered by Lord Chaitanya to write these books. So these are the weapons, and Prabhupada, he always emphasized book distribution. But there are many activities going on, and they should all go on. But if we have Harinam Sankirtan, like everything is centered around Harinam Sankirtan, it gives energy to all the other departments. Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada, here's some quotes from Srila Prabhupada. Our literatures are unique in the world, and someday the world will realize and appreciate these transcendental literatures. Prabhupada said that later there will be, when we look back on the history of how the spreading of this literature, spreading of the Krishna conscious movement, changed the course of this the world in a most precarious moment. So I can just say for myself, Prabhupada, this movement saved my life. If this movement was not here, then I would have been lost in absorption in illusory activities, thinking myself the body. And that's what's happening when people don't have real knowledge. So people will appreciate and realize, more and more people will realizing. And when somebody start to realize, wow, these books are fantastic, and they read them and they appreciate them, it's just for the rest of their life. And then a new person becomes changed, and another person becomes changed. And it's just increasing. And then some great leader in this society will change. And it will have an effect. Prabhupada also writes, my first concern is that my books shall be published and distributed profusely all over the world. Practically, books are the basis of our movement. Without our books, our preaching will have no effect. So Prabhupada was always concerned that whenever we have a program of whatever kind, there should be books presented. So he liked very much the distribution of books together with Harinam, singing. So he says, it is this Sankirtan which is the life and soul of our movement. Sankirtan and books distribution should go on together, side by side. I'm always glad when these activities are increasing, and my pleasure is always increasing. And And he also said, distributing the books will make devotees. To make a devotee means to make someone purified. Reading the books will purify the intelligence. A purified heart and mind means Krishna consciousness. So the more these books are spread, the more the Harinam and the Sankirtan book distribution and the holy name are spread around, the more people will be less inclined to materialistic activities. It's like if you have some seed, because Hare Krishna, you have some seed to do a sinful activity, materialistic sinful activity in our heart. Because when we do sinful activities, we get a sinful reaction, and that's like that reaction might be there in the heart as a seed that one day will sprout as a reaction, but also there is a seed to do the same activity one more time. So these seeds, when you have a seed, even if it's in the soil, if you flood the soil with water, it cannot grow. There's too much. It can't grow. So Krishna consciousness is like that. If you flood the society with transcendental literature and the holy name, all these seeds of sinful activities, they will be like flooded and will not be able to sprout. It's also compared to like if you take a seed and you burn it, also you dry it, you burn it, you can also not sprout. So Prabhupada said it like that. So the more we spread the Sankirtan movement, the more we preach and distribute books and go on Harinam and Sankirtan, then this desire for sinful activities, materialistic activities, it will be reduced. People will be less inclined to it. And this is the way to change the society actually. This is the way to give people a chance for real happiness. Because real happiness is found in our loving relationship with Krishna. So everyone should learn this. That will solve so many problems in our society. Less crime, less mental disease, less people going to NAV. It will solve the problem, actually. So I can read some few more quotes. If anyone simply reads a Krishna book, teaching of Lord Chaitanya, Nectar of devotion, or Bhagavad Gita as it is, he is sure to become a Krishna conscious person. So somehow or other, either through the schools or colleges, libraries, life membership program, or ordinary sales, we must push this literature distribution program. It is so important and a most valuable service to Krishna. So these books will supply a clear idea of God. Not only that, but anyone who reads this Krishna book, Nectar of Devotion, and if possible, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, I'm sure he cannot go away from becoming a devotee of Krishna. So people are becoming devotees by reading these books. And here Prabhupada mentioned some few books. This was probably quite early. He said this before Srimad Bhagavatam was there fully. And also he says teaching of Lord Chaitanya. Later he translated the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now we also have that. the whole set. Prabhupada was he was expert in what he did. He was very efficient. So he could work really quick. So in a short time he managed to write all his commentaries to Chaitanya Charitamrita and have them printed. So we have all these most wonderful books, and we see by our tradition that the books is very much the basis of our movement, and we see that when the distribution of books is emphasized, then we see that more and more people are becoming actually devotees, taking up the process of Krishna consciousness. So I could read for you many examples of how people become devotees by reading these books. So thank you very much. Maybe there are some comments or questions. Okay, I can read one here, one about how a person became a book distributor. This is his name is Harinamananda. I'm a little older now, but when I was young, new in the movement, he was on the top. Book distributor. He was the world champion book distributor. You can be world champion book distributor in this one. So he said, one boy was watching me distribute books. When I approached him, he said, I have these books. I wondered where these books came from. He worked for the municipal public works, and a friend of his who collected garbage found some of our books in a garbage container and brought them to the public works hall, where this boy had found them. Being curious, he took them home and started reading the picture captions and then the books themselves. He told me his story and was happy to meet me. He was 17 years old. He bought 10 books on the spot. I invited him to come to visit our temple, said goodbye, and walked away. But somehow or other, I was not yet satisfied. And he says, like, it was the super soul, Paramatma, in my heart, told me. Suddenly I realized, he could be a book distributor. I turned around and called the boy back. Hey, what are you doing tonight? Because it's Saturday. I will go to the temple tonight. We made an appointment for the evening, and when I came, he was there waiting for me, with his sleeping bag, all ready to stay for the weekend. He became a regular visitor, and now he's a full-time book distributor. And he has gone steadily out now for the last 5 or 6 years. Yeah, so we see that they are so attractive, these books actually. It's amazingly attractive. I know it's very hard to tell who will be actually attracted to these books. When we go on the street, we don't know, it's not easy to tell who will actually, who this book is for. We might think, he's a useless person. But he become like a really very determined and sincere devotee.
Somehow you must have a little calling inside you. Like someone is calling from the inner voice,
Yeah.
Because not everybody is going to, like you say, not everybody is going to read the book. But the chosen one, what destined to be Krishna conscious, they will do that.
They will read the books and they will take a book on the
Yeah,
street.
because
you think?
they have that, inside. There's something they're lacking. Something. Yeah.
Yes, but they have often people. I meet many people that bought the books, and I ask them, "Have you read it?" They bought the book because they felt like, yeah, I can buy the book, but maybe they didn't read. But some they actually read it, and it has a great effect on them. Even
I have Jesus say, I have come to collect my chosen lambs. In the same way, if you say like Krishna, he have already decided who's going to who I have decided that I will get them, because not everyone in their life will get that chance. Maybe not this time, maybe next life, or maybe next life. But they say you must somehow, you have a wish in your inside that I want to go, or I want to go that way, or something is missing in my life.
Yeah. So, but still, we have that free choice. Everyone has that free choice. So you can say if there is a little fire, that's a small fire, and to make it blaze, you have to blow it, to blow it. So some of these small fires, they have a little some inclination, little inspiration. They need to just be blown. So when they get Prabhupada's books, that is like, and they read it, that's like blowing the fire, and they can really an interest.
I read that book for many years back, but I never got that, attached to this book. But for 6-7 months ago, I started to watch channel Hare Krishna, and I think I heard Bhagavatam first time, and that moment, was the eye-opener catching for me.
Wake up an interest inside you.
Because
Yes.
I already read, my father has that book, so I read it, but I never, it didn't catch me at that time. So I think there's a time for when you are going to, when
But
you
it's difficult for us to say who is like ready, who is not ready. We just give everyone facilities, and when they buy a book, that's a bhakti sukriti. It's a good thing for them, actually. They gave some of their hard-earned money for a Bhagavatam. And then if they read it, they associate with a pure devotee. And that association can give them intelligence which they didn't have at all. Just like that. And then they can continue reading, and then naturally they might want to look up at some society which are doing this, or and then start practicing. Just like we had also this experience on where I stayed also. Some lady just called and was like something just clicked. She had read the Bhagavad Gita, and felt so immense happiness by being connected with this knowledge. Although she knew about Krishna from before, there was no really any change in her life. Nothing really happened. But just at the right moment, when she's ready, it has something to do with becoming ready. I don't know what it is. What has to go on there? But at one point, one suddenly becomes ready, and then the book is there on the shelf, and they take it out just at the time when they're ready. Now, what was it with that? I met that Krishna. What was it with that book? Suddenly there. So it's Krishna from within their heart, and inspire them. And in this way, when they're ready, then it has a great effect actually. So to change their course.
It's just like when you are going to, plant a flower or something, you have to make the soil perfect before you can
Yeah,
put
yeah,
the seed inside.
yeah.
So that's the thing. The soil has to be perfect before you can.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's very good when people are very ready. But because then one can really change one's life totally, because one is ready and then the books are there. But many people, they can also change a little bit, just slightly, something, and then continue next class and then gradually get there. But we don't think so much who is like ready, who is not ready. We know that our tradition is just spread out widely, everywhere. Anyone. Anyone can take part. And we saw with the Prabhupada when he spread, so many devotees came. And some left also. They come and they fall back to their old ways again. But they will continue later. But some stay. Actually, in the case of Srila Prabhupada, he said that they asked him, why did you come so late to America? Why did you wait until you were 70? And he said, I was waiting for all of you to take birth. Because some of them, they so fond of Prabhupada. They just, whatever, when they say they pray to him, we want to be eternal servant of my spiritual master. They have followed him through his life. It's pretty obvious if you look at some of them, how they. So they are special souls, you can say, especially ready for Krishna consciousness, just taking it up again. But many we have no qualification, and in Lord Chaitanya's movement, what is the best qualification? You have no qualification. Those who have least qualification, they're the most qualified for the mercy. The more following we are, the more right you have to get the mercy. So it's simply it's a mercy movement, and more and more people are opening their eyes for the greatness of this person, Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. So tomorrow we will take part in this as much as we can. As mentioned before, there will be japa session here in the temple from 5:45 to 6:45 and then there will be Guru Puja at 7:30. Then Srimad Bhagavatam class, there will be at 7:45. After that, a little bit later, there will be breakfast. Then we will have hands on the books, trying to distribute to each other and training, and then to learn some basic what to say, and then we will go out to the Egeltorga and distribute holy name, flyers, books, and prasad. So thank you very much for coming today. Yes.
Yeah, tomorrow after the program, we come back here.
Yeah, then we come back here. So we will be at the Egeltorga around 12 o'clock. Then after some 2.5 hours like that, we go back. Then there will be prasad here. Where we share also, our experience and like that. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai.
Ja, det är skickligt.
Du har inte dragit den? Nej, jag har inte dragit.
Klart ikke mer. Hvis vi skal man klage, så er det... Det er hyggelig. Hæ?
Ja, skal du komme i morgen, eller?
Ja, jeg tenker det. Tidlig, vel kanskje. Men etterpå jeg kommer da. Og hjelpe til for seg. Sånn tenker jeg.
Ja.
Mm.